everyone, Black Tree TV live here at the 24th Annual SAG Awards. I'm your host, Jaleesa, and I'm joined here by my lovely producer, Jamal Finkley. We made it again.
We made it again. And you look more amazing than ever. Like, you just keep doing it better every year.
Thank you. You look amazing as well. We're so excited about this carpet because this year marked a new trend where conversations no longer center only around entertainment and film. We're having conversations about pay equality, about the Time's Up movement, about Me Too, and it's just so refreshing to see that. So do you think people are going to come here making political statements?
It seems that will be the case. I mean, even their publicists instructed us that they want to have conversations not just about what they're wearing, but about meaningful issues. So we'll see if that actually plays out on the carpet.
I think it's so refreshing to see that. You know, yesterday they had the Women's March all over the world, but here in Los Angeles, we saw some of our favorite actresses go out there and make some statements, including Viola Davis and Scarlett Johansson. So I can't wait to see what they have to say here, especially during their acceptance speeches.
Or we can't really wait to see if James Franco is here on the carpet to address some of those issues that Scarlett Johansson so vividly pointed out that he's, a part of.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see what the male actors have to say as well about this recent movement. We know some of the Time's Up group members will be here as well, so it'll just be really exciting.
And speaking of male actors, we have a year where there's no clear favorites, and I'm just excited about all these pictures also competing kind of like on equal ground. Like, we don't know who's going to win this year. It's not like the years past where there's a clear winner in every category.
Congratulations, Queen Sugar.
Thank you. Yes, it means a lot to me. I've been a big fan and actually supporting Ava for a long time, since Middle of Nowhere. And when she told me she wrote this role in Queen Sugar with me in mind, I don't think I've ever been so honored.
And how excited now she's about to be the first black female director to have a $100 million budget.
That's right.
With A Wrinkle in Time.
That's right.
Can you talk about just the experience working with her and what really makes her such an amazing director?
Ava knows the stories that she wants to tell. She knows the lens through which not only she, but many, many other people see the world. And she recognized that those stories and that lens hadn't been given the opportunity to shine and draw others to its light. And she's a very, very dedicated professional.
And now, there's plenty of amazing films that are being nominated. We're so proud of people for addressing political topics and so much going on. What are you most looking forward to during the ceremony?
Seeing all the women on stage. I've been supporting women's issues for a long time. I ran the Women in Film Foundation years ago. So this has been something that's meant a lot to me for a long time. And all the years and decades of women coming before us who laid this groundwork. These issues aren't new. This need is not new. And they were pioneers, and they didn't have the same tipping point and global opportunity that we do now. So I want to thank them for all their diligent work that felt like maybe it was in a vacuum at the time, but it wasn't. We wouldn't be here without them.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
First of all, congratulations. It's not the first time Orange is the New Black.
No, I know. Well, there are 50 of us, or 1.5 million of us in the cast, so, that is part of it, but
With a women-dominated cast and of course with all the diversity, what do you think it is about the show that really resonates with this audience?
I think exactly what you said. It's a lot of different types of women from different experiences, from different backgrounds, and it's such an ensemble. There's so many stories to tell within that, and people can find themselves in different characters, even though most people aren't in prison necessarily, but like. It's just such a phenomenal show to be a part of because of that.
And 2018 is already looking like an incredible year for women.
Yes.
Women of color, women
Yes.
of all fields.
Yes. Time's up.
Still early in the year, so what is something that's on your vision board for 2018?
I want to march. I want to say my piece on social media. I want to change minds. I want to empower women. I want to create a safe space for women and men and children, anyone on set, and also in a variety of all industries. I mean, this is a big time for change.
Absolutely. And of course, one of the big conversations, aside from the Time's Up movement, is pay equality among women and men.
Yes.
Do you think that the cast of Orange is the New Black is fairly treated in comparison to the male cast?
I hope so. I really do. I don't know the answer to that. That's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, the reality is we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't have these conversations.
Right. That's true.
To have more of them.
I agree. I mean, a lot of us don't know what we're getting paid because we have agents and, people doing that for us. We don't talk about it amongst ourselves necessarily because it's an awkward conversation to have. But I think you're right. Maybe it is a conversation we should probably be more open about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Hello, beautiful.
Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's just the shoe situation.
I hear you. Comfortable.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we're rolling.
Okay, great.
First of all, I have to say I love the leftovers.
Thank you.
And I know you were a part of that cast. It was such
Yes.
a deep meaning. So I
Yes.
just had to fan off.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Mayor Lucy on the inside. Thanks you too.
And I love it.
Yeah, the ending was great. The ending was great.
Now, of course, the reason we're here from MJ is real, Esquire.
3 billboards. Yes.
Amazing. Can you tell us what it was like being a part of both of these films?
And Wizard of Lies, really. A blessing. You're working with diamonds in the rough, and let's face it, Denzel is one of the most precious jewels in the crown of cinema, period. Full stop. It is what it is. And to have done that, not even 10 years out of Yale drama, to check that off of my list of things to do, first of all, I was never expecting, and then to have the kind of team we had, Bob Ellsworth behind the camera, Dan Gilroy with the words and direction, and then Mr. Washington himself. I would definitely walk with God, and he sees me, and I walk with him, and yeah.
Now, 3 Billboards is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. When you first read that script, what was it that really stood out to you?
Just Martin's honesty, the humor coming out of the humanity of the situation, as it always does with a man like Martin, and just excitement. I just knew it was special. I always know it's special. You just never know that you're going to get this kind of reception because, we didn't know if everybody would, it'd be everybody's vibe, if you will. But it appears that it is. People really feeling it.
And of course, we're seeing a lot of women coming together, unified. Honestly, to feel from my times up. I mean, I was here for a few years because I thought I couldn't do it. I thought people wouldn't accept me. All these things. Finally, or do we still have
Oh, we always have a long way to go. There's always progress to be made. The day that there's not progress to be made is the day that we all lie in a coffin, right? So there's always more work to do, always. But it's happening. And a lot of the time I listen to older generations in Black America say, I never thought I'd see a Black president. I never thought this would happen, that our open secret would ever be exposed and really systematically change the institution that has been built up since the 20s, really, 1920s. But it's happening, and we just need to hold on and move forward. Keep going.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I love how you're embracing the 80s vibe with this dress.
Yes. But my dad looks like a bellhop from the 20s, so it's fine.
How excited to have a series that's really kind of like this period piece, has this 80s inspiration. Can you just talk about what's your favorite moment or what you love about the 80s?
I mean, I grew up on movies from the 80s. I grew up overseas, and all of our movies were 80s movies because that's what we had. I really love kind of just going back in there and just doing goofy stuff. I mean, a lot of things from the 80s probably wouldn't fly nowadays, but we just get to go in there and just have so much fun without restrictions. You can't beat the music, you can't beat the hair. So it's been interesting having a mullet for about 8 months now, but I'm rocking it.
We're surprised that I see it on the red carpet today.
Oh, I can't believe I got all this hair in here. Like, I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, what? 2 packs? Like, it's insane.
Now, of course, what we love about Glow is such a woman empowering show, right? I mean, you have this single woman breaking back into the industry. Can you just talk about how you think Netflix got it right with this one and what's important for you with this message?
I think Netflix, I mean, they definitely got it right. I think what's great about it is, again, kind of going to the we don't hold back. We talk about periods, we talk about abortion, we talk about abuse, we talk about divorce, we talk about so many things that I think a lot of shows kind of touch the surface but really don't delve into. And it's a lot of not saying this is right, this is wrong, we're just saying this is real. And that's what I really appreciate about our show, is that we just try to show real women's issues and real human issues and how people react and interact with everyone around them. So that's what I like about it.
Absolutely. Last question.
Yes.
You guys are nominated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where were you when you first found out about the nomination?
I was literally on the side of my bed. I flipped over, looked at my phone, saw 80 million texts from the girls, and I was like, something up. Something's happening. And I checked. So it was in my jams, comfy at home.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good. So first of all, congratulations. And
Thank you. Yeah, we pull it through. Yeah.
You're doing good.
Thank you.
It's so crazy. We've seen you grow What has the experience been like when you think about when you first joined the cast to now being a young man?
I think it's definitely been a long road here. It's only been 4 years, which is kind of crazy to me. But yeah, growing up on television has definitely been an experience. I've learned new things about the industry that I don't think I would have learned otherwise. So it's been really weird, especially when people come up to you every day and they're like, "Man, have you gotten taller?" And I'm like, "No, I'm the same height I was yesterday." All right, yeah. So it's been pretty tight.
Now we're so excited, of course, for Yara with Ronan.
Yes.
Check it out.
I've watched all 3 episodes. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I've loved them so far. Yeah, let's see where it goes. What am I thinking about? I actually just finished my college applications, did my mid-year report yesterday, 12 hours of homework, which was not fun, but I did it. I'm looking at UCLA, USC, Stanford, Columbia, Pepperdine, yeah, just a bunch of schools.
Now, does Ronan deter you from wanting to stay in a dorm room?
No, I definitely want to stay in a dorm room. I mean, Grownish, it didn't deter me at all. Like, I feel like you can be your own person in college, you know what I mean? You don't have to fall into all of those kinds of traps of doing drugs and all those sorts of things. If you have a strong enough will, you can make anything happen. So I definitely want to stay in the dorm room, have the whole experience. You know how it is.
Hi, Jaleesa.
You look amazing.
I see your glow.
Thank
Is that the Fenty?
Yes.
I knew it. I have it too. Yes.
You needed it. You look amazing.
Mhm.
And us, Beyonce Lemonade.
Oh, thank you. Somebody else said that.
We love
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, I mean, you're here, SAG Awards. Your show is nominated. It's such an amazing moment. Talk to us about when you first knew you wanted to become an actress and why.
Well, when I first knew I wanted to become an actress, so earlier on, I really wanted to become a track star. Like, I ran track, and then I got a sports injury, and then I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I started sports modeling, and I literally came to California on a whim. Like, I didn't think this was going to happen, because when you're kids, you're looking at the TV, you don't think like, oh, I can do that. You're like, oh, that was just made for that person. Their mom or dad was a television star, so they have to do it. So I never in a million years thought that it would happen. And then when I saw Viola Davis, and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks like me. Like, I can do this and give it a shot. And I know I didn't have a theater background, so I didn't even know, but it made that even more harder because, even getting representation, they're like, where did you study? And I'm like, oh, University of Georgia, go football, Bulldogs. But yeah, it made it even more harder. But just to see more and more people like me on the television, it gave me that drive and that push to keep going.
And now you're here.
Yes.
Nominations. So
Yes.
congratulations
Thank you.
as well. Now, speaking of faces who look like us, Black Panther
Yes.
is coming soon.
Yes, I can't wait. The premiere is the 29th.
Have you watched it already in full?
No, none of us have. They only show us little clips.
And tell us about, you have Wakanda, you have
Wakanda forever. Yes, yes.
Tell us, what do you think Trump would think about Wakanda?
Oh gosh. I don't know what. He probably shit his pants. Sorry.
It's all right.
Oh really? Yeah. No. Trump. We don't even care what he thinks. That's the thing. That's the whole thing about Wakanda and Black Panther. Like, we don't care. We're not gonna take your negativity. We're gonna come with this, and it's gonna be the best, and it's gonna blow out all these other things. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, Black Panther, so many people have been waiting for this movie. This is very important. It's so important to the African community. And I can't wait for it to come out and break records, because the thing is, we're not gonna fail. We're not gonna fail. They think we're gonna fail, but we're not. We're not.
That's right.
Because you guys are gonna go out there and you're gonna buy your tickets, and you're gonna see this movie. Yeah, it's very anticipated.
On my book, titties and hips on my book. I hit a high note for my book. Hey! Well, now you woke for my book. Hey! And then rubber pum pum for my book. Yeah, you bitches better run for my book. Hey! What they say, I got a plate and a pig, cause my book gon' be big. My book gon' be big. Yeah.
Tell us about it. What are you talking about?
Look, honey. The Mother Black Hollywood, and everybody's asking if I did the audio. The answer is yes. For some reason, everybody loves my voice. I don't know why. I guess it's fabulous. But yes, I did record the audio book, and it's flying off the shelf. The book, the hard copy, is flying off the shelf. The reason the book is so successful is because I'm very honest, I'm raw, and I'm truth. Everybody is thirsty for the truth right now. Blackish is a very important show. We entertain, but we educate and inspire. Kenya Barris is a genius. He's at the helm of all of this. And I gotta say, I've never said I'm honored to be on a show. I am honored to be on Blackish. For
what makes it
back? Well, it is who?
What makes it different? Like, why are you honored? Why do you feel so connected?
Because this show is speaking to the pressing issues of our time. The writers are the stars, being able to bring that drama and comedy together and say exactly what needs to be said in these times. You know, women are standing up, race relations, mental illness. You see, when something is an idea whose time has arrived, it is unstoppable. Women are unstoppable right now. Nobody's grabbing us by the pussy. Nobody's grabbing us by anything anymore. Am I clear?
That's right.
45?
That's right. Yes, Miss Lewis.
That was like literally I didn't know Jennifer's next to me until I heard her piercing voice was like anymore. I heard that like I can't even do the way she does it. And
she's so shy and retiring. She must have just put it on for you guys.
I know, she's such an introvert.
Jennifer. We can't get 2 words out of Jennifer.
Did you see the way she posed on the red carpet? Could you imagine if I just went hands out with the leg? Yes. I think that's just inner Jennifer. I'm not sure that
she is made for this. Look at that woman go.
Amazing. Now you guys don't actually really have any scenes with Jennifer, so do you actually?
No, have we? Never.
No, we never have.
Never had any experience. Well, I love the latest episode. You guys challenge like the talk that black men have to have with their sons.
Yeah.
Was that something that you were privy to or aware of prior to that show or that episode?
I mean, the thing about being on the show as a white guy from Connecticut, I'm privy. Even though I'm learning stuff every week, and that is for real. And I know that my naivete feeds my character because my character's legitimately naive to everything, and so am I. And what I found beautiful about that episode is, of course, the talk that black parents have to have with their children is so insane to even think about that I will never have to have any talk like that with my sons whatsoever. But then that his character also had to come to people like us and talk to us about the talks that our parents had with us and the insecurities that every human being has on this planet and the problems that we all have, no matter what color you are. That was what I loved about that episode.
And for me, I grew up in Boston, so for me, and everyone says, oh, it's a racist-ass town. My best friend growing up was black. And so I remember one time I was out with him, and I said to him, I said, Teddy, and he's like, we were just hanging with some people and you got like totally black on me, and he was like from Trinidad Tobago, his parents are immigrants, and I said, you got totally street and that's not you, what are you doing, you're such a hypocrite. And he was like, let me tell you something, I need to be white around white people, I need to, like, he was coding, and I was 11 years old, and he was teaching me, like, he said, my parents said, like, if you don't adapt and you can't adapt, you'll be cut out. So he had to be, all these things, and I was just like, you're a hypocrite because you're not being yourself. And he's like, dude, life is complicated for me because I'm black. For you get to like be yourself. And that it was an eye-opener. So it wasn't the talk, but for me it was, wow, that was like, I have it made in the shade, for compared to what you have to go through, like every situation. I have to adapt to this, adapt to that, and like.
What was it? We even had a moment recently. I mean, this is going pretty deep on something. I made a comment on set by saying something about steal. Like I was like,
no, it's Catherine.
Yes.
Catherine said, "Hey, did you steal? You stole Dion's food."
Yeah, stole it, and we got talked to a little bit by some of the black actors about being like accusing them about stealing. And I'm not really getting to it, but yeah.
He said we were just making a joke, and Catherine, one of the actors, said, "Oh, did you just steal Dion's food?" And Nance goes, I'm just saying, when you use that verb around black folks, I'm not slapping your hand, but it sets my spine up.
And that's a learning lesson.
And she's like, no, I didn't. Yeah. And he's like, I'm just telling you, culturally, it's where I come from. Yeah. You use that word, and I'm like.
And what's great about this day and age is 10 years ago would have been like, dude, shut up, stop it. But now we're learning. Now we're actually learning that, wow,
We appreciate it. I have to say you guys did an incredible job with the episode, and I think it was very important that your character was the one that kind of brought it to light, because that's important for people watching. So we loved it.
And so thank you so much. We're so pleased and feel blessed so much to be able to part of this, because it's such an important audience and story we're telling. And Kenya always says, he hopes the episodes ask questions and poke the bear, make us look at ourselves, start a conversation. And at its very best, that's what we do and do well.
It's a dream come true. Yeah, imagine there's so many great shows that have nominated here. Not many people
some not so great.
Some are fine. Some are fine. Some are fine. But to get asked questions like this, that's pretty amazing.
Awesome. Great. How's it going tonight? Oh, I love your hair. Yes. Yes, I'm loving it.
So, of course, congratulations. You all have several nominations. Congratulations to you. Where were you when you first found out that you all were nominated?
I was in the makeup trailer, getting my makeup on for 10 May because we're still shooting. We're shooting season 2, and they told us. I said, "Wait, what?" I was very confused and whatnot, and it was pandemonium. I mean, we shook the whole trailer.
Now Netflix is, they're breaking so many barriers and starting so much conversation. Can you talk about what it's like to have them as a partner, and why do you feel they're kind of like getting it right within film and TV?
They really invest in each project, and everyone on the team at Netflix is really hands-on, and it's not like all the executives are very hands-off. Everyone works together. It's a total team. We get together multiple times. We just got together last night and had a party. It's really like a family, all the shows together. We all congratulate one another. I think just like the support and the way they're doing it, it's like fresh and new and right.
So what's besides Glow, of course, what's your go-to binge watch Netflix show?
Well, I just finished Orange again. The day before yesterday, and then the last season, I was like, I was gonna watch it again, real quick. Why not?
Well, congratulations and good luck tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
Black Tree. Hey.
Black Tree. Oh, sorry, I shot you.
That's all right.
I have to say, 3 Billboards is certainly my pick for best ensemble.
Good.
Best picture on
Thank
the
you.
Oscars.
Thank you.
Incredible film.
Yeah.
What page on the script, what scene did you know that you wanted to be a part of?
What do you think, baby? When he shows up, I figure that's it. That's what it's about. That, and also the scene with Sam when he comes back and delivers his badge. There are a lot of ways that could be played, but he was such a force as an actor. Just to play the humanity rather than playing the revenge. So it was a wonderful piece in that respect that I felt we can really make a bit of a difference here. We could either play it by rote, or we can use this moment to say, there's another way to deal with this, Yes.
Now, Sterling K. Brown, he mentioned during his Golden Globe speech how important it is for a role to be specific for a black man as opposed to just for anyone. How do you feel, what do you think the importance was in your character in 3 Billboards in being a black man, given the
Good question. I think that what worked for me in this was more my director, who was also the writer, who is a foreigner looking at America and holding up a mirror. What I enjoyed about that was that I could have a dialogue with him and say, no, we're not going there. And that, I guess, allowed me to find the black man in that situation in the much more real way, rather than going, they call me Mr. Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? And so, and it is necessary. We have a completely different trajectory into history than any of our white counterparts. So it is necessary to have that conversation and to keep it buoyant and to keep it moving forward, not just for my generation, but for the next one. Yes.
Well, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Society. Wow. Okay, let me take it in. Let me take it in. Okay, you are ready.
You look amazing as well.
Thank you. You do too. Everybody does. You guys look so beautiful and handsome. I'm not, I think men are great. I just want to say that I know we're in this Me Too movement, but I just have to tell you that I think men are dynamic and wonderful. And I have a son, I have a husband, and I love everybody. I love gay, straight, transgender, whatever, but men are beautiful. So, and don't not think that you are, because you are.
That's right. Now, since you brought it up, I'm curious, given all that's going on with Time's Up, with Me Too, with so many conversations, are you having those conversations at the dinner table since you have a son and husband?
My son is 11, and he is really so uninterested in what I have to say at this moment. I'm basically boring and uncool, so I haven't been able, I'll say things to him like, your teeth are like an iceberg, like the Titanic. There's stuff going on in there, and if you don't take care of your teeth, it'll be a shipwreck. And it'll be like, what are you talking about? So for me to actually get into a real conversation about Black Lives Matter or Me Too or Time's Up, I think that would be like, he's not ready.
Now, speaking about Black Lives, we love Insecure.
I love!
Huge fan. Tell us, is there any...
Issa Rae is a genius.
She's amazing.
She's
finally getting the
she's a genius. She's a genius.
What makes you say that?
Because what Issa Rae is doing politically is she is opening up the carpet for all of us to walk on and hold hands and be together. She is opening up the picture of where we need to be. She is taking conversations that we have not been having, and she is putting them out there. And sometimes I read those scripts and I'm like, whoa, okay, whoa, we're going there. And I'm like, so proud of you, so proud of them, so proud of that show. I'm so proud, and I'm so proud to have a little part in it. And I'm so proud of Stranger Things, and I'm so proud of Orange is the New Black, and I'm on Homeland now. And
you're
and I feel like I'm getting to do a lot of shows that are very political, and I'm very political. So I'm blessed. I'm grateful.
Absolutely. Enjoy your evening.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, and thank you for chatting.
Thank you so much, Catherine.
Take care, bye.
Bye. That's rude. Okay. You got to want to say yes, please. We're going to come on.
How are you? Thank you.
We were talking to some of your cast, and we were saying every year Orange is the New Black is nominated. What is it about the show that you think really makes people recognize it?
Darling?
I think that it's just such an unusual crew of people, and there's so many sparks that fly when you see all these different women on the screen that it's exciting, and it continues to be that way, I think.
And it's like diversity in front and behind the camera. It's a formula people have responded to. It's good writing, it's wonderful acting, so what is there not to like?
Right. ¿De dónde eres?
Dominicana.
Ah, boricua.
Ah, sí. Hermana caribeña.
So tell us also, I think there's some pretty heavy topics that you all tackle on Orange is the New Black. Is it ever emotional on set when you're filming some of these scenes?
I mean, I still think back to the night when Samira's character got killed, and there were so many tears. We were all just barely holding it together. We feel all this stuff.
I feel like, especially that episode, it was a 22-hour day, and we can feel what it meant in terms of the depth that we were carrying in terms of society. It wasn't just a fictional story happening. There was a lot of depth to it.
Well, congratulations and good luck this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your evening.
Jason.
Pleasure to meet you.
It's nice meeting you.
I'm loving the blue.
Oh, well, we got to do a little something.
Now, I am curious. I know you work with the foundation, and diversity is a big initiative for you all, and equality. Sometimes as Black press, we feel like there's a huge disparity between the opportunities we get and our white counterparts. I'm curious, does that ever become a conversation among the foundation, just overall the dynamic of media?
Well, no, we have, in general, yes, it's a conversation. And specifically when it comes to Black entertainment media, no, we haven't had that conversation. Give a brother a call.
Yes, we would love to see you have this conversation. Seriously, because sometimes we feel like we're left out of that conversation about the opportunities.
Right. Well, I mean, and there's a whole dynamic of, the size of an organization, that sort of thing, and that's a real piece of this entertainment business. But as we know, you also have to the demographics change, the economics change because people push. So message received.
And also, in order to build your brand, you kind of have to get notable people to talk to. You know what I mean? We show up at the same places. We want the same opportunities.
Right. Well, I'm always here. Right.
Well, tell us about, we heard about a Grey's Anatomy spinoff. We didn't know that was news to us. Where are you at in the development process of that, and what will that look like?
We're shooting. It'll be on the air in March. So I spent all night, Thursday and Friday night, wrapped up in fireman's gear, we were shutting down freeways and whatnot. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. Not to be, we're firemen, not to make the joke too hard, but yeah, it's going to be everything you love about Grey's Anatomy. It's going to be everything you love about Shonda Rhimes shows, but with a whole new cast of characters that you're going to fall in love with, I think.
Absolutely. Now, 2018 is already looking like it's going to be an incredible year for film and television, especially for Black people.
Mm-hmm.
We have to ask, what are you most looking forward to in 2018?
Can I be real? Can I be real? Can I be a kid about it?
Yes.
I want to see Black Panther. I'm really trying to see. Look, I'm a comic book geek from back in the day, and so I'm so happy for have so many friends that are in the flick, and I'm just excited that Wonder Woman in 2017. I took a bunch of 8-year-olds, that were all the girls and boys got up pretending to be Wonder Woman when the movie was done. I'm kind of excited to see that happen, where everybody jumps up at the end of Black Panther, white kids, Black kids, Asian kids, pretending to be Black Panther for a second. That's gonna be a good time.
Team Wakanda.
You know what I'm saying? Wakanda is what's up.
Thank you so much. All right, it's a pleasure. I'm serious though. We would love to be.
Hi, I love your natural hair popping.
We knew what to do.
Yes.
Now tell us, of course, Sterling K. Brown plays your father. How incredible. What type of advice does he give you on set?
I think that the most advice that he gives me is to never give up, because Sterling has been acting all his life, and now he is finally getting his dream moment, getting Emmys, getting Grammys. So no matter what, how slow it takes to get to your goal, as long as you get to your goal, that's what matters.
And now, season 1, we all were very emotional to lose William. What was it like shooting that on set, and were you all emotional?
I was actually very emotional because I can relate to it. I had a grandfather that I didn't really know, but he came into my life, and I was spending lots of time with him. I was really young, but then he left, and I got that same sentimental. I was really feeling empathy over Tessa's character, and that brought the life into my character. And I really can't cry on TV, so you have to hold it in.
Well, you know what? We have to say we're so proud of you, young Black woman. Keep doing your thing. Keep striving.
Magic. Yes.
Inspire other young Black
Thank you so much. Love you. God bless.
Good luck, beautiful. Hi, beautiful.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm loving this blue.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you guys doing? Happy New Year.
Good. Happy New Year. You know what? Speaking of the New Year, what's on your vision board for 2018?
Oh my goodness. Balance. So I want to balance with my spiritual life, physical life in terms of working out, and family, friends, work, balance.
Now, congratulations. I mean, again, Orange is the New Black.
Oh, it's amazing. Thank you.
Do you guys still get excited every year when you find out?
Of course. I mean, it's time to play dress up. It's time to meet with your friends. It's a good moment.
And why do you think it is, that people resonate so much with the cast? It's so unlike anything we've seen, but what is it?
I think there's so many different characters on this show, and then when you look at it, it could either remind you of a sibling or a cousin. We're just crazy. It's just so many different personalities, and people can relate to that.
Absolutely. Well, good luck this evening.
Thank you. Good to see you. Bye. What's up? How are you? Good to see you.
You staying for the after party?
I'm going to the after party.
Yeah.
Bye.
Each season, of change. Thank God that's not my job.
I don't watch it.
I don't know. John Ross says a lot of stories you have to tell.
Yes, exactly.
It's the first thing. You've been around for a while. Actors voting.
Oh no.
Have they seen
What?
He be grabbing them quick. I don't either. We're not really getting any of the film nominees. Look at Larry David. Hi, Betty.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I love this dress. This is phenomenal.
Everything you're wearing.
Thank you.
Gold rings. Yeah.
This dress is giving me I'm ready for Black Panther vibes.
Oh, is it? Well, I am. I am.
Well,
I'm
of
ready
course,
for the rain.
we are excited. Get Out, nominated, incredible film. Are you feeling nervous, or how are you feeling about all these nominations?
I mean, it's amazing. What's nerve-wracking is all of this, but it's great. It's also really great. It's experience.
Now, of course, the film was Jordan Peele's first time directing a film. What was that experience like working with Jordan, and does he have any quirks about his directing that you could share with us?
Oh, he is incredible, and I would advise anyone, of course, anyone who gets a chance to work with him to jump at it, because he's very smart, he's very easy, fun, but he has his vision and he's very clear on what he wants, and that's good in a director.
Now, last question, have you seen the funny memes about people saying that celebrities are in a sunken place?
No.
You haven't seen it? It's like a running joke, like, oh, he's in the sunken place.
Like,
It's become like
which
a thing.
which one did they do that? Yes, I have seen those.
They do that a lot with the men who date the Kardashians.
Right. I mean, and in the spirit of compassion, I think we all have our moments, ideas of being in a sunken place and assimilation, and it's unfortunate when it's to that extreme, but it's something we all can be connected to.
Well, good luck. We're rooting for Get Out.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Very much.
Peace.
How you doing, brother?
God is great, lady. Now that just means the connection is beautiful like that. What's happening?
Now, Mudbound, everyone's so excited. What do you think it is about the film that people really need to take away and understand?
Oh man, they need to take away that we all need love, because it's a 2-hour depiction, honest depiction of American history post World War II, and it's brutal, it's honest, it's ugly, it's muddy, but the very last word of the movie is love.
And tell us, we're also proud of Mary J. Blige for the recognition she's given in playing this role. What was that experience like, seeing her go through this journey? And of course, I'm sure you're rooting for her.
Oh, it was amazing. Mary J. Blige plays Florence Jackson, my wife. It was amazing to see her come straight from the Bad Boy reunion tour. 20,000 plus fans to be in this small, quaint, intimate, honest discussion as Florence Jackson with Hap Jackson in Mudbound. So it was phenomenal to see Mary J. take that transition from singer to storyteller. And it was a beautiful thing to partake and be a part of.
And of course, speaking of blessings, you are blessed with Mudbound being a part of Stranger Things as well.
Ma'am, I'm back to back. I'm like Mike Tyson in here, you know what I mean? Last year we got it for Stranger Things. Hopefully, God willing, this year we get Mudbound. That's best ensemble cast 2 years in a row for me, so I can't complain at all. I'm just showing up prepared though, you know what I mean?
That's right. Well, good luck, brother. We're glad to see you shining.
Thank you, lady. What's your name?
Jaleesa.
Jaleesa, all my pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you. Enjoy your evening. Good luck. Dion? Yeah, we love Grownish.
Thank you.
Why did they give you a professor role? Like, how did he get into
he must have been smoking some weed or something. He was just like, you know, it'd be funny. And I think that's how it came about. I don't know. I have no idea. But, yo, shout out to Kenya for creating it, calling me up, telling me about it. I was like, yo, it's crazy, but let's do it. And, you know, he's a visionary, so it happened and it went down, and we're excited.
And what type of advice do you give to, it's a young cast, you know, Yara, Trevor, they're really coming up, some of the actors. What type of advice do you give them on set, and how do you mentor them?
I just always tell them, be original, stay on your craft, stay focused, and that's what they are. I have a wonderful cast, wonderful students. I love all my students. They're fantastic, and yeah, they got more and more in store to bring to the world, so I can't wait for everybody to see the rest of the season.
Now, last question, I am curious because you're a comedian.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sensitivities in the world about a lot of different topics and things. Do you think that hinders comedians, or what challenges does that present?
Yeah, it does. It keeps us from really, comedy comes from truth, and when the world don't allow us to be truthful, then you don't get what you deserve. And so that's where we're at with it. And until people finally let us have freedom of speech, then this is the world we live in. And it's horrible from a writing standpoint, and it's horrible to the people that know about it. But, you know, hopefully it changes soon, and we can give people what they really deserve, because comedy is the last raw form of expression. So, yeah.
Well, enjoy your evening. Thank you
you.
so
You look
much,
wonderful.
Lisa.
My name's Jonathan.
Nice to meet you, Jonathan.
And you?
Now you, of course, Mudbound, your character is fairly mean. What do you channel?
Fairly mean?
What do you channel to portray this type of character? What does your preparation look like?
Well, before you were born, I grew up. Let me back that up. If you ever have any doubt about the virulent hatred, you look at some of the old clippings of kids trying to go to school with women with spittle coming out of their mouth, or the horrible pictures of a man that is hanged and kids smiling and celebrating in front of it. It happened.
And we have to talk about it.
Well, and I played that racist.
Absolutely. Now, yesterday marked 10 years, Breaking Bad, I believe. Can you talk about that franchise, and how do you think it's kind of changed the direction of television?
Well, I think they're great writers and great storylines, and and now they have me play in Better Call Saul, playing younger than I was 10 years ago. Figure that one out. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. First of all, congratulations. I'm sure Get Out is going to open so many doors for you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like I'm in a dream. You know, Biggie say it was all a dream. You know, I'm amongst all these people I've watched my whole life, and now I'm standing next to them, and it's an honor.
Now, you know what's interesting? I think Get Out, of course, Black people get it, right? Do you think that when white audiences watch the film that they really understand the message and takeaways from it?
I feel like they did. I feel like, you know, I've seen the movie like 7 times in the theater, and different audiences, different crowds, different amounts of people, and the response is always the same. You know, people are laughing, yelling, you know, screaming. They're in horror, they're in pain, they feel for Chris, they're crying. We all cheer at the end together. So I think it's pretty universal.
Did you imagine if they would have chose the original ending?
You know, that's a big reason of why I really wanted to get this part. You know, like that original ending really hit home for me, and hopefully people learn something from that original ending. You know.
Now, I would love your thoughts on the kind of the controversy around people were really upset that it was nominated in the comedy genre as opposed to drama. Comedy as opposed to drama. What are your thoughts on that?
And well, you know, I can definitely understand those people's concerns about that. But me, you know, I'm always trying to make lemonade out of the lemons. You know, and I believe that, you know, whatever gives us the recognition that I feel like this movie deserves and allows us to be amongst our peers here, you know, put us in a musical all you want, you know, as long as people are getting that message, you know, that's what's important.
Well, good luck. We're definitely rooting for Get Out.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Welcome. Pleasure meeting you. We know.
That it is in existence is such a miracle, that it's being supported in such a huge way is also a miracle, and may it continue. and we're just grateful that people are listening, because that's what it's about right now, and helping to instigate the change. It's going to be slow, it's going to be arduous, but we're all in it together.
And it's cool color to wear color again.
Sequence.
Hey everyone, so we're wrapping up the red carpet, about to head inside, but we wanted to give you a quick recap of everything that was going on. I have my lovely ladies here joining me.
Hi, I'm Charlie. Hey everybody.
And Ludmila, or Ludi. And of course, I'm your host, Jaleesa. We want to talk a little bit of recap of some of the fashion we saw. Coming off of the Golden Globes, we saw that people, of course, didn't wear their black today, so they opted for a little bit more color, a little flow. We saw a lot of beautiful color, especially from the Glow cast, who embraced their 80s. Ladies, what were some of your favorites?
Oh, you know what? Mary actually walking through was just amazing. She did wear black and her white. She looked amazing. And Holly, of course, Halle Berry looked amazing too. Yeah.
Halle Berry does no wrong. Who also does no wrong? Nicole Kidman. I mean, you know everyone loves Big Little Lies, but one thing we can't deny is that Nicole Kidman is flawless, always with her boo Keith Urban by his side. What were some of your favorites, Charlie?
Do you know who stood out to me in their green number? It was Niecy Nash. She looked amazing. I loved her dress, yes.
So we had a lot of fun speaking with a lot of the cast, but you know what? Unfortunately, there were a lot of people that we didn't get a chance to speak with, and it was a little bit disheartening because a lot of the people we didn't get to speak with were our own people. I mean, we didn't get Yara Shahidi. Lupita wouldn't even stop for her people.
Yes, that was a little sad, you know, to like our brothers and sisters that we couldn't get was a little disheartening because we do support them in their films, and for them not to at least acknowledge Black Tree, for one, we're black and we're here on the carpet to support them and hoping that they win because it's been a crazy year thus far. So
and
we're
you know what? If anything, I think what's important to recognize is that, you know, so often Hollywood pushes for equal opportunity for black women and for white women, for black men and for white women, but we never really bring up the press. And you know what? We need equal opportunity as well for our counterparts because we're journalists. But you know what, ladies? They're already shutting down. We have to head inside. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Black Tree TV here. Jaleesa.
Like on the face the same way. Okay.
Ellen.
Hello.
Congratulations,
Thank
Jaleesa
you.
from Black Tree TV. Thank you for always being a true reflection and representation of black love. Let me
Thank
say
you.
that.
Appreciate it.
You're always vocal about the differences between black actors and white actors and opportunities. So apologies in advance for this loaded question, but I do think it needs to be addressed.
Go for it.
Are you aware of the disparities between the opportunities given to black journalists in comparison to our white counterparts? And do you think there's any plan in Hollywood to make sure that the media room starts to reflect the diversity that we're beginning to see in the industry? I told you it's a loaded question, but it needs to be addressed.
Just taking a look around the room, like, you got a point. It's a lot of white people. You know what? I'd never paid attention. And shame on me for not having done so. But maybe this conversation is the beginning of something taking place, you know? It is, you get that conversation when you're a young person, you gotta work twice as hard to get just as far. And that, you know, I don't know if that holds true exactly or whatnot, but it's something that's been etched, burned into my mind, you know, to be able to receive similar opportunities. The latitude for mistakes is less. If we had President number 44 talking about grabbing people by the vagina, I don't think he'd still be working, you know, he wouldn't last 8 years. So it is representation, diversity, making sure that everyone's voice can be heard is important. So thank you for bringing it up to me. I'm sorry I hadn't paid attention. Sure.
Hi, Sterling Beck here, Maureen from
Hi,
Entertainment
Maureen.
Weekly. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, you have received so much awards love for this role, and you are always so gracious about thanking the rest of your cast. So what does it mean to you to get this award tonight, as well as receive the Ensemble Award?
This was awesome. Excuse me, I've lost my voice. I had a cold that was going around, and then I was in Vegas for work. But my cast has been so generous in celebrating me and this wonderful journey that I've been on, that tonight we get a chance to celebrate each other. We get a chance to celebrate together. This is the dream. We were all waiting for them to say The Handmaid's Tale, and we were all waiting to politely and you know, deservedly say, Handmaid's Tale is dope. But when they called our network television drama, you know, don't know, none of these other shows look like ours. Like the fact that we get a chance to come and we won, this is a very special night. I told my cast, this is like a top 5 special night in terms of these awards. It's so nice to be able to do it with your family. Yeah. Is it
Hi, congratulations.
Hi. Thank you.
Regarding the Time's Up conversation also, do you think male actors can do more to support women in terms of you know, safety at work and about pay disparity?
Oh, good questions. Okay, first question first. Yeah, you can hear me down here? Okay, just feels. For me, it has been a wonderful opportunity to take stock of the fact that I actually have privilege, and that I have male privilege. And recognizing that things that I take a lot of things for granted. I remember when my wife and I would go home. We lived in New York. We went to grad school at NYU. And we would be up late for rehearsal. And I'd say, well, I'm going to take the subway home. And she's like, I ain't going to take the subway home. It's 12 o'clock. Why am I going to jump on the subway? I was like, the subway's perfectly safe. What are you talking about? And so I would get in the cab with her because she's like, bro, it's safe for you. Or maybe you think it's safe for you, but it's a different world for me. And it's always the responsibility of the minority to understand how to negotiate the majority's world. Black people got to know how to live in a white world. Gay people have to know how to live in a straight world. Women have to know how to live in a man's world. But it's nice when people who are at the top take a second to look at and consider what it's like for the minority. And what the Time's Up movement has been about for me is just really taking stock of the fact that there are certain things that I have not registered, and I can be more conscientious. And hopefully it's registered with other men in a similar way, that things that are funny to you may not be funny to everyone, and that there is a responsibility that we have to make sure that our work environment is comfortable for all. Because it's not always about maliciousness and nastiness. Sometimes it's just about downright thoughtlessness, and we can all stand to be a bit more thoughtful. With regards to pay disparity, I'll let you know when I make a lot of money what that's like, but I'm still, you know, climbing my way up. So, yeah. What are you gonna say? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lonnie Chavis. He's a handful, and you're about to see why.
Hey, the mic's blocking your face. Make sure.
Is it just me, or do I think that that was a little offensive? Okay, well, first, all glory to God. I would like to thank my family who believe in me and help me follow my dreams. It just takes so many people to make a TV show happen, so I want to especially say thank you to the incredible cast I work with that helped me become a better actor. And I'm just happy that This Is Us has allowed me to bring diversity to Hollywood and create a place for me where I fit in. Thank you, guys.
Told you. Questions for anybody, because
Sterling.
take this microphone.
Hi, Sterling, right here.
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And you too. Keeping in mind what you were taught as a kid, you have to work twice as hard. With all that's happened in this last couple years, how much credit do you give to working hard, and how much do you give to luck or, you know,
right,
good fortune?
A lot goes to good fortune. I mean, I recognize that I'm a blessed young man, and I know so many talented people who are not experiencing the moment that I'm experiencing right now, but at the same time, you make your own luck. You prepare, you work your butt off, and when opportunity matches up with that work, then you just try to walk into the end zone. You try not to stumble. You try not to get in your own way, and just receive that, what is waiting for you. Because this is what I believe. I believe what's mine is mine, and nobody can take it away from me. What's ours is ours, and nobody can take it away from us. Like, I believe that this is ultimately a friendly universe, and that there's enough carrots for everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? So to be up here with these people right now, like the fact that we all get a chance to stand in front of you guys, like in victory, this is a beautiful moment. Beautiful.
Scott Hoover with Elle. Just picking up on that, Sterling, you guys play a family, and from what I've seen, you guys travel together to all these events. You feel like a family together, and I wonder if all of you, if all of you can talk, if you can talk about that sense of family that you've developed as being a part of this show, even more so than the usual cast on something would develop.
I'll take it for a second, and then I want somebody else to chime in too. But yeah, go for it. You putting up awards? Stun on them, stun on them. Listen, it is like a family. Like, it seems so cliche, and it seems like, do they really love each other as much as it seems? And the answer is yes. Like, the joy is what I feel from my brother and sister, from my wife, from my mother and father, my mom who's younger than me, my dad who's younger than me, but it's like mom and dad, you know what I'm saying? These kids, my children, the younger versions of us, like when I watch the show and I see Lonnie or Niles do something, like I'm feeling for Randall. And it's like, I watch it as an audience member the same way as everybody else, because you can't fake a relationship on screen if you don't have it off screen. And I don't know what the alchemy is, what Dan Fogelman saw in all of us and our producers, but he brought together a group of wonderful thespians who happen to be even better individuals. So I'll let somebody else take something. Anybody want to say something about it? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Are we a family?
That was beautiful.
My talk in Minneapolis.
Yes.
And I think what you were just tapping in on is how much you move us. Every week we sit here and we watch this show, and we're so delighted that you guys won a network show, and you move us. We cry, and we try not to cry. And is there something, you just mentioned it, Sterling, that you watch it as a fan and you cry.
Yeah.
Mandy, I'd be curious to hear, your feelings about it. Do you cry? I mean, you're so good. Come on, tell us a little something about your character. You moved us.
I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody. I mean, I think we all are moved by the material. It's hard not to. I cry. Milo can attest. Milo and I like to make a plan of going to watch every episode together if we can in Dan's office. And it's just remarkable because, like, these experiences right now, all of us together, we never get to we're never in one room.
Right.
And so that's what makes this all so much more special and celebratory. Like, we're here together celebrating the hard work that we all put in, and but being recognized by our fellow actors, like, it's, I can't even put it into words yet. It's mind-boggling.
This question is for Mandy. Brandy with In Style all the way in the back. Can you see me? I'm waving. I'm like in the back left. Okay, cool. I just wanted to know, with everything that's going on with the Time's Up movement, what advice would you give to young women who are watching the SAG Awards and, wanting to be where you are, any of the women up here?
Me specifically?
Yeah.
Or?
You.
Oh my goodness. That's a heavy question. I mean, I'm honored to support the movement. I think everyone on this stage is honored to support the movement, and I think we all feel encouraged by the momentum forward, and that it's an ongoing conversation, and that we all can participate and be agents of change. And yeah, I don't know.
Any other women? Sue, you want to
Sue?
say anything? Alex?
About being the Time's Up movement.
Yeah.
Oh, what would I say to young women?
Yeah.
Okay, what would I say to young? What I would say to young women is that the times they are changing, that there are some people who are paving a pathway through their own courageousness And there are visionaries who now see a new way to go and be in this industry. And also that we're not, it's not some competition between men and women, that there's just the need to be seen in the same light, in the same respect, and equally. And so just like women before me paved the way for me to be just a normal black woman on television that resonates with any culture, it's the same way that the way is being paved for women to be able to showcase their talents without having to sacrifice any of their own self-respect. So I think that that's sort of the way the tide is going.
That was it?
Got something to add on, y'all.
Come on, Ass.
We dropped that 20-pound thing. All right. Hi, my name is Eris Baker. All right. Okay, so for young women, I would like to say to never give up, because I know that lots of people are going through tough times right now, and I've been being in this business for since I was 7 years old, and I'm now accomplishing my goal. So I want all of you guys to know that no matter how long you get to your goal, no matter how far your goal is, as long as you take your time, as long as you get there, it doesn't matter how slow it takes you, that's all that matters. Okay, thank you.
Hello, Gary, right here to your left.
Hi.
First, congratulations.
Thank you.
Excellent role. I know so many characters you play that you got to build a backstory to, but with Winston Churchill having so much written about and so many quotes, do you feel like that? Did you pull from anything in particular that was text from him or stuff that to build this character, or how is that different than playing characters that are more created than?
Well, there's obviously the material on Churchill is voluminous. I mean, I think it's 800 books that were written about him. He wrote 50, and you can't. I'm still reading them, so I mean, this is going to be I would imagine my curiosity about him is a lifelong journey. But the real key to him, there's so much you can get from the written material, but at some point the intellectual side of it has to stop, and you have to somehow kind of take all of that and metabolize it and make it into a living, walking, breathing person. The big help to me was the footage of him at this time, and the revelation to me was that just the energy and the dynamism of him was just so extraordinary. So I sort of I started. With this, you might say I started out outside in, and I tried to get the sort of the physicality and the walk, and then that gives you clues. But I was lucky that I had some Churchill scholars who could direct me to certain reading material. You know, I had a long time, but there's a lot of books, and so it was handy to have someone sort of guide me to the cherry pick, the prime ones.
Hi, Melody Waintal from Vanidades.
Hello.
Could you share your story on how you became an actor and what it meant to be a young actor as an old man?
And the last bit was what it
meant to you to be a young actor as an old man.
Well, I was around 14, and I saw the performance. There was a rerun of a Malcolm McDowell film I don't even know if I haven't seen it for so many years, and I wouldn't even know if it would hold up. But it was a Brian Forbes movie called, in England, we called it The Raging Moon. And there was something quite remarkable about Malcolm's. There was a sort of wonderful menace and vulnerability to him that were just sort of happening at the same time. And I was completely captivated by that grin and those huge, huge, big blue eyes. And it was like a light. It was like a lightning bolt, or like it was like the lights in the room got brighter. I thought there and then that I want to do that, and that's what I want to do for a living. And I have been truly very, very lucky and very blessed. It's been. It's had its ups and downs, its hills and valleys, but it has been quite a remarkable journey. If I would, young actors, some young actors, not all of them, but we're in a sort of time where a generation wants to get everything instantly, and they want to take 4 weeks of acting school, and then they've got it, or they think they've got it, and there's no substitute for the work. You got to really, I think, earn your dues, put the work in.
Right here in front to your left, Russ from Hollywood Life. You mentioned ups and downs, but in the wake of all this award success, how do you feel that your standing in Hollywood has changed, if at all, in the last couple months?
I mean, we have you have your moment in the sun. Careers, there's no guarantee that you're just going to keep. There's no guarantee you're going to keep working. I could, God forbid, I could get sick. I could get hit by a car. We have today, but there's no guarantee that we're going to get tomorrow. And so my feeling is, enjoy the moment in the sun, and it will eclipse. It always does. And then, and it'll be someone else standing up here next year. So I'm enjoying it. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Silence.
Hi, Nicole, straight center back here. We're raising hand, if you can see. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Since you won for Big Little Lies, how good of a liar are you in real life, and what kind of lies would you really forgive?
What kind of lies?
How good of a liar are you, first of all?
I don't think I'm that good of a liar. I think, I don't know, you'd have to ask my mom, I suppose. It was probably better when I was a teenager. But I think now it's I'm in a position where I'm in a place in my life where I get to sort of speak my truth and speak how I feel. And what was the other question?
What kind of lies would you forgive?
I find my mom always said when I was little, she didn't like the word lie because she felt it was too strong, because a lot of times when children tell things that aren't true or change stories, there's a reason, and so a lot of times it's because of fear. So I think, I'm sorry to answer it so seriously, but I'm in a kind of serious mood because I'm playing a serious character right now, so anyway.
Hello and congratulations. Regarding the movement Time's Up and all what's happening in the industry, what do you think of what fellow male actors are doing, do you think it's enough? Do you think they should stand up more for women?
Should
they stand up more and support more women?
I mean, I think what we're doing now is we're trying to all work together to instigate change, and I keep saying that. And I've said before, I've worked for UN Women, which my primary cause at UN Women was to eradicate violence against women, and I've been doing that for 2 decades. And so right now, for the voices of the voiceless to be heard, it's an incredible time. Can everyone do more? Absolutely. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, great. You know, at a moment like this, you are very generous in thanking your castmates and your husband and your family. Are you able to look inside and give yourself credit for what you've done to get to this place? Hard work, your choice of spirit, you know, are you able to look inside yourself and, you know, pat yourself on the back?
I try to. It's not really my forte. But I think I just feel very privileged to be given the opportunity to do what I do. And I was told when I was young, if you have a passion, you have something that you love, what an incredible gift in life, because so many people don't have that. So I feel unbelievably grateful that I found my calling, and it really feels like that. And a lot of times with acting, it's so much not about me or you as an actor. It's about the group, and it's why I always try to acknowledge all of the people in my life and also who I work with, because that's the nature of this business. It's not a singular business. It really isn't, and I don't even like the word business, because for me, it comes from within. It is an art form. I cherish it and I love it, and I'm just grateful that it's something that I get to do. So,
hi Nicole. Congratulations right here.
Thank
Hi, I'm
you.
Taylor with New York
Hi.
Magazine.
Hi.
Now, we know that your husband is no stranger to television.
Yes.
Would you ever consider even giving him maybe a little cameo on Big Little Lies or any of your screen projects, or is that just a no?
You'd have to ask him. He is out there. He's my biggest supporter. I'm so fortunate to have such an incredible partner in life. And any chance I can, I will acknowledge what he does, because he really is so kind, and I don't think that having a cameo in one of my projects would interest him, to be honest. But I sleep with him.
Nicole, about halfway back here on the aisle, Scott Hoover with Elle magazine.
Yes, hi.
Can you talk about a female performance? It's been such a great year of female performances,
Yeah.
but is there a female performance that really has inspired you, one that you look to and kind of take some extra strength from watching?
I mean, you look at Frances McDormand, you look at Saoirse, you look at Margot Robbie right now. Amazing performance, fantastic work. But I wanted to acknowledge also the women that have come before me who are still vibrant and working in my speech. That was important to me, and there's so many of them. There's Helen Mirren, there's so many. But I just love that we're employed, that we're working, and that is happening right now. So there's not one singular performance. I mean, I watch actors and actresses, and I learn so much still, so much every time I watch the performances. And they can be performances I've seen 3 or 4 times. I mean, I look back at the greats and Ingrid Bergman and Vivian Leigh and Jean Moreau and Anna Magnani, all of them. I'm just like, oh. So I'm a fan as well, you know, and this is what I do. And so I just love seeing other people having the opportunity, because there's also, and Sam said this beautifully, and so did William Macy when he said, there's so many struggling actors out there. And the other thing I love to tell actors is you are one role away from this. That's the great thing about this journey and this life as an actor. You are actually just one role away from it. And that gives people hope, and I love to be able to do that. Thank you.